What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Winnipeg Jets top line. This is a line that's been scrutinized since, the beginning of last season, even the beginning of this season, but it does seem like finally they've had a breakthrough, at times early on in the year, but now more consistently, and they look like one of the scariest first lines really in the NHL. This line last year, they really could not do anything defensively, let alone offensively. It really felt like at best they were breaking even on the night, 2 goals against, 2 goals for. That was really as good as it got. There was a lot of talk about, hey, we need Ehlers up on that top line instead of Kyle Connor because Kyle Connor isn't engaged enough. And that was really a problem throughout the last couple of seasons. Kyle Connor not being as engaged as needed and not being a superstar player that we know he can be. This season, completely different. Kyle Connor is arguably the Jets' best forward right now, and night in, night out, the guy looks so locked in. He looks like he's ready to go win a Stanley Cup, and that's something we haven't really seen from Kyle Connor. He's hit a new gear this year, and it's been really impressive to watch. We're just about halfway through the season, and he's already got 22 goals, 51 points, and he's been just an all-star. Flat out, we see him score goals every single year, but the last couple of years, has he really been that engaged? Has he really been a true, difference maker outside of, the empty calorie goals? Not really. This year, Kyle Connor, completely different player, big point scorer right now, and a big part of why the Jets are where they are in the standings right now, first place. On the opposite wing, we have Gabe Vilardi, who's nearly a point per game, 39 games played, 35 points. We already know Gabe Vilardi had a fantastic season last year. We know that, maybe he could be a 60-point player this year. He could very well be, a 90-point player this year if he keeps up the production, and he's just been getting hot as of late. Get a slower start out of the gate this year with the Jets, but he's really found his game. The point totals keep climbing. He could legitimately be a 30-goal scorer this year. He just goes to the net. Just, stick in the blue paint, pot and goals. Him and Nick Ehlers seem to have really good chemistry on the power play as well, so that really helps things. But, 7 points in his last 4 games. The guy is heating up, and in the new year here, we better watch out for Gabe Vilardi because I think he's going to have an insane run here. And, heading into the playoffs, he's going to definitely be one of the Jets' more important players. At the end of the year, Gabe is going to be an RFA, so restricted free agent. The Jets will be looking, I'm almost certain, to re-sign him long-term. 8-year deal would be ideal, maybe around the $6.5–7 million mark. Maybe if they could get something done like that, that would be incredible. Might be more, but whatever it needs to be, get him re-signed because Gabe Vilardi is a difference maker. And now the man in the middle, Mark Scheifele, who started this year out hot. Came out of the gate, looked like, the Mark Scheifele of old was back. But then he got that wrist injury. And he still played, wasn't taking draws, but noticeably hurt and wasn't at his best. And just really struggled for, maybe 8 to 10 games somewhere in the middle there, right? Ever since they released the Four Nations, Canada roster and Mark Scheifele was snubbed from it, I don't know if it lit a fire under him. I don't know if it was just coincidence at the time that he was healing up, but Mark Scheifele has hit another level, and he consistently looks like, vintage Mark Scheifele. I'm talking the 17-18 season. Just absolutely deadly scoring option. He looks like he wants to score goals again. 22 goals, 22 assists, 44 points in just 39 games. Mark Scheifele is back, I'm telling you that right now, and he's hit another gear just as Kyle Connor has, just as Gabe Vilardi has, and that's really why this line is clicking now. In the past years, they were bad, flat out. Could not, play a 200-foot game, and, most nights it was an adventure in the defensive zone, and in the offensive zone, not much was going on either. All of these guys have seemingly come together now and have found chemistry. They have been able to have, just confidence. Mark Scheifele, I feel like the last few years has had a lot less confidence in his shot, than we've seen in the past. This year, he's probably going to score 40 goals. We're not even halfway through the year. He's already got 22. Gabe Vilardi, very, very good chance that he hits 30. Maybe 40's pushing it, but I could see 35. Kyle Connor, who knows what could happen with him, right? He could go on a run with goals. He's that kind of player. I think he'll have a 100-point season this year. But this top line is fun. Finally, the Jets have a true top line that works. They can score. They can even defend at times. Now, if they get the rest of the lineup figured out, this team could legitimately be a cup contender. And there's a lot of things that they're going to need to do with the trade deadline. I think they need a 5-on-5 driving second-line center. That's easier said than done to find, but I do think that there are options. I'll make a video about that in the future. On defense, this is where they need the biggest work. They definitely need I think a partner for Josh Morrissey at this point. I think they need to find a star. Again, I'll make a video in the future on who I think those targets could be, but I do think they need to go big on D, 1 or 2 for sure. I think, probably 2 defensemen to be brought in by the Jets. Now, if they do those tweaks, the top line keeps running, this is going to be a scary team headed into the playoffs, especially with future Hall of Famer Connor Hellebuyck, manning the crease. He's been, again, on an otherworldly tear. He leads the NHL in pretty much every category. Connor Hellebuyck is the best goaltender in the world right now. Will probably win his 3rd Vezina, of his career this year. And this is a Jets team that could really use that kind of production in the playoffs. And, if they get that, it's going to be a scary time come playoffs. But that's all I got today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Been away for a little while. I took some holidays, took some time off work, and I've just been, kind of relaxing. And, the YouTube kind of got pushed to the side, but I am back. Jets are back, and it's been a ton of fun watching them as of late. Went through that little slump there for maybe 10, 12 games, but they are so back. They look confident, they look fast, they look like the team that started this season and went 15-1-0. But what do you guys think about this Winnipeg Jets team? Are you excited? Do you like the first line? Do you think the first line can keep that going? Do you believe in them? I'm kind of really starting to now, so I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm out of here, guys. Enjoy your day. Happy New Year. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.